Before we begin this episode, I want to ask you for a small favor. If you enjoy content about psychology, personal growth, and understanding how the human mind works, take a few seconds to support the channel. Subscribe to Psycho Drive. Leave a like on this video. And most importantly, leave a comment. Just tell me one simple thing. What negative thought comes back to your mind most often? Your support helps this channel reach more people who want to understand their minds and take back control of their lives. Now take a deep breath. Get comfortable. And think about this. Imagine that someone talks to you all day long. A constant voice. A voice that comments on what you do. A voice that interprets what happens to you. A voice that gives advice, makes predictions, and tells stories about the world and about who you are. That voice already exists. It's your inner dialogue, your internal narration. Every day your brain produces thousands of thoughts. Some pass quickly. Some stay longer. Some motivate you. But many of them slow you down. The surprising thing is that your brain is not always looking for the truth. Its main goal is something much simpler. To protect you. To save energy. To avoid danger. And sometimes, in order to do that, your brain simplifies reality. It creates shortcuts. Quick interpretations. Automatic conclusions. Those conclusions turn into sentences you repeat to yourself. Sentences that sound logical. Sentences that sound reasonable. But in reality, they can be lies. Subtle lies. Comfortable lies. Lies that can keep you stuck in a life smaller than the one you could actually build. Today we are going to explore 7 of those lies. 7 mental illusions that almost everyone experiences. As you listen to this episode, pay close attention. Because there is a good chance that some of these voices already exist inside your own mind. Lie number 1, I'll start tomorrow. This is probably the most common lie. And also one of the most dangerous. I'll start tomorrow. It sounds reasonable. It sounds responsible. It gives the impression that you're planning carefully. That you're thinking before taking action. But in reality, this sentence is often a psychological trap. When you say, tomorrow, your brain immediately feels relief. The pressure disappears. The obligation disappears. You don't have to act right now. And your brain loves that. Because action requires energy. Starting something new requires effort. It means stepping outside your comfort zone. And your brain is programmed to conserve energy. So it offers a solution. A very simple one. Delay. Delay the action. Delay the decision. Delay the discomfort. And that delay slowly becomes a habit. Tomorrow becomes a safe place. A mental refuge. But there is a problem. Tomorrow never truly arrives. Because when tomorrow finally comes, it becomes today. And the same mental process begins again. Your brain says, not today. Tomorrow. And so weeks pass. Months pass. Sometimes even years pass. Projects remain inside notebooks. Ideas remain inside your head. Dreams remain inside your imagination. And the person keeps believing they will start someday. Lie number 2, I'm not capable. This lie is quieter. But sometimes even more powerful. Many people never attempt certain things. Not because those things are impossible. But because they have already decided they will fail. That decision forms slowly. It often begins with past experiences. A failure at school. A criticism from a teacher. A hurtful comment. A comparison with someone who performed better. Little by little, those experiences form a belief. An internal conclusion. I'm not capable. But this sentence contains a fundamental mistake. It transforms a temporary situation into a permanent identity. For example, not knowing how to speak a language does not mean you are incapable of learning it. Not knowing how to start a business does not mean you are incapable of entrepreneurship. Failing at something today does not mean you will fail forever. Yet when this belief takes root, it acts like an invisible limit. A mental barrier. And that barrier can be much stronger than any real obstacle. Lie number 3, this is not the right time. Many people spend their lives waiting for the perfect moment. The moment when everything will finally align. More time. More money. More confidence. More certainty. But the perfect moment is an illusion. Reality is rarely perfectly organized. Conditions are almost never ideal. And yet, most great things in history began in uncertainty. Companies were created in garages. Books were written during moments of doubt. Ideas were tested without any guarantee of success. The truth is simple. The perfect moment does not exist. There is only the moment when you decide to act despite imperfection. Lie number 4, everyone else is better than me. In today's world, comparison has become almost automatic. Every day, social media shows images of success, impressive careers, beautiful lifestyles, people achieving extraordinary things. But what you see is only a small part of reality, a curated version, a highlight reel. You see the results, but you don't see the years of effort. You don't see the doubts. You don't see the failures. You don't see the nights when those people questioned everything. When your brain compares, it makes a critical mistake. It compares your inside with other people's outside. And that comparison is always unfair. Lie number 5, if I fail, it will be the end. The fear of failure is deeply human. For most of human history, mistakes could be dangerous. In ancient environments, errors could lead to real threats. But in modern life, failure is rarely catastrophic. Most of the time, it is simply information. It tells you what doesn't work. It shows you where to adjust. It guides your next attempt. People who succeed are not the ones who avoid failure. They are the ones who continue despite it. Lie number 6, I don't have enough time. This is one of the most common sentences in modern life. I don't have time. But very often the problem is not time. It is attention. Our world is filled with distractions, notifications, endless scrolling, entertainment that never stops. And these distractions quietly consume hours of our day. Time exists, but it becomes fragmented, scattered, lost in activities that do not always contribute to the life we truly want to build. Lie number 7, one day I'll change. This final lie is the most subtle, because it sounds hopeful. When you say one day, you imagine a future version of yourself. A version that is more disciplined, more confident, more focused, more organized. But that future version depends on only one thing: the actions you take today. If nothing changes today, there is a high chance nothing will change tomorrow. Real change rarely begins with a dramatic transformation. It usually begins with a small movement, a small decision, a single step forward. Your brain is not your enemy. It is simply trying to protect you. But sometimes that protection becomes a limitation. The goal is not to eliminate every negative thought. That would be impossible. The goal is to learn to recognize them, to observe them, to question them. The next time a voice in your mind says, I'll start tomorrow, I'm not capable, this is not the right time, pause for a moment, observe the thought, and ask yourself one simple question. Is this really the truth? Or is it just a story my brain is telling me? Because sometimes, a single action can break a cycle that has lasted for years. One small step, one decision, one moment of courage, and that decision can change the entire direction of your life. If this episode made you think, don't forget to support the channel. Subscribe to Psycho Drive, leave a like, and share this episode with someone who might need to hear it. Because understanding your mind is often the first step toward transforming your life.